Buddy,
fucking
all I
hurt
did
caused by gay marriage. You know
was
what I
ask you
mean?
what a woman is. All I did was ask you what a woman is, and you freaked the fuck out. I don't understand why you guys
Nobody
get so
freaks
upset.
the fuck out,
Why do you
bro.
guys get so upset with that fucking question? That's not even controversial. Why do you get so upset with that question? What is a woman?
It's such a stupid thing, bro.
But you can't fucking answer.
But I need to start recording sooner.
Yeah, right from the beginning, because we missed that part. Can we fake it and start that part again? Because that was actually pretty funny.
Well, I believe the assertion was that Rich eminent domained his hair as a sign of showing it.
Yeah, well, and man, I really fucked up my hair this morning. Like I guess I'll leave it like that. I mean, I have no choice. But I was kind of in a hurry. I didn't put enough product. What do you use? What product do you use? Kind of like.
Believe it or not, I don't really use anything. I have some like an emergency in case it gets really bad.
So right now, that's all natural?
That is, I have a brush. I push it around a little bit. I just don't want to get long enough that it gets a mind of its own. You gotta beat it into submission. It starts to grow and like get an opinion. I
use wax, man, years ago, 25 years ago, man. I'm like, I've only had maybe 4 barbers in my entire. I stick with them. So there was one gay guy, and he told me about wax. Man, more than 25, 30 years ago, maybe. And I've always used wax. It doesn't drip. It holds everything in, you know what I mean? Like you just got to put enough. I didn't put enough today, but yeah, it's zero drip, which is huge with product, because every once in a while I'll forget, I'm out of town and I forgot the wax, which is a catastrophe. When that shit happens, man, I usually go buy a hat, or, now, because I don't even try to get a regular product, because that drip feeling, I can't take it. It drives me absolutely fucking insane.
There's a stuff that my the guy that does my hair, it's just like Rossell, whatever. It's a little bit more liquidy than a wax.
You go to like a salon, like with a gay guy, or you go to a barbershop?
I go to a barbershop, actually. I go to a place where I am the only one that does not speak English, or does speak English, I should say.
I go to a place where I'm the only one without a neck tattoo.
Okay, yeah, that's usually a good indicator as well.
But
you take care.
I go all the way to the end to the left. The only white guy in the whole city, really, but the only white guy definitely in that location. So, Richard, we're on video this time, right? So you got to like at least pretend to be engaged. You know what you should do?
Have we started, or are you guys going to just
talk about
started,
dude.
Hair products?
We fucking if you would be paying attention, you would see that the goddamn fucking numbers.
This conversation.
What else do you want other than the fucking numbers counting down and saying we're starting? Like, what else do you want? You want a fucking email?
It's riveting. Your adoration of wax because of its superior hold.
Don't hate. Now you're just being jealous.
I'm sure this is what people tune in for too.
I know you're just being jealous.
Your hair care regimen.
I think Rich is representing a subset of listeners about the quality and dissemination of hair product.
Kind of like, where are you, by the way?
Right now I'm in Orlando. I just spoke with Florida Realtors. They have me on a panel tonight, so I can't get out later.
I can't help but notice you cheaped out on the hotel there, because that's old fucking furniture.
This is actually the Rose and Shingle Creek, which is where they have this every year. I have never been in a hotel, even in Las Vegas, that are so big. I mean, like, you need a Sherpa to get to your room sometimes. Like last time I was walking for days, get to the end of these massive halls, you make a right, there's another massive hall.
Is it a golf resort?
No, it's a conference resort. Like, it's very deceiving from the outside. It doesn't look that big, but every year Florida Realtors has their conference here. And I don't think it's a cheap hotel. The furniture.
No, it's not a cheap hotel, but it's old. Let me tell you why. I travel so much to like weird fucking cities that my only way, other than having to call or check public record for the age of the hotel, because I like to stay. Sometimes there is no nice hotel, so you just got to stay in a new hotel. So the color, you could tell the age by the colors of like right now. If you want to stay in a new hotel, it has to be gray and blue.
Yeah,
has to be. That's the new color.
Yep.
You know, so when I look there, I'm like, they haven't changed that furniture since the 80s, maybe.
Yeah. No,
But that's really good wood. So at some point, that was a badass, that's solid wood, will last you forever furniture.
yeah. Yeah. No, the problem with that is in a hotel, you actually don't want that. You want cheaper furniture that is good for a
New.
period of time. It's bad for income, but it's better for the hotel
Yeah,
staying.
less bed bugs. Yeah, the less bed bugs, the better is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All
It,
right.
it,
So we had a couple things we wanted to talk about. We've been throwing stuff in there, right? We've been doing good at that this time. Um, Hold on.
I know you sent the Miami Realtors numbers over of what was going on, and I thought that was actually quite fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, the fact that Miami's up in sales, it's up in Andres, since I'm gonna zoom, so you're gonna have to be a little bit more, and I'm actually in a podcast, which makes it even worse. Thank you. Um Man, I tried to do it out of my house today, but I was trying to wrangle all the dogs to one corner of the house. I just fucking couldn't, so I had to quit and just jump in the car and go. One of them just kept on escaping. The Chihuahua kept on escaping, and so I had to just jump here and do it from here, from the Palmetto Bay office. So, yeah, man, it's crazy that, I mean,
Well,
look, man, when people ask me right now, how are you doing? How's business? I say good. I just don't know why.
yeah.
I don't know how, and I don't know why.
Well, the big interesting number for me that came out of that was that the price growth from last year to this year of 3.8% in single family homes. That was like, I didn't know that would be the case. Like the 4.8 month standing supply of inventory in single family homes, that is kind of what I was expecting. It was a little lower than what I expected. I thought we were going to be a little closer to 6 months. I know we're kind of in a market it feels a little meh, like, because I think one of the reasons why it feels that way is we came out of such a crazy hot market that
Mm.
anything compared to that, just, like,
No, but I know a lot of people eating a cable, right? Like I know a lot of companies right now are just not doing good. Like I know,
because
it's
because of the other half of the numbers, man. So many of the companies' businesses is predicated on that condo business. And your business that's never been like the key. You've always been helping people get into houses.
yeah,
And I know,
blue
yeah,
collar. I'm helping you. You're not even looking for a house, but I'm going to sell you one anyway.
uh
Market. Yeah.
absolutely. And 10 years later, I'm going to thank you because it's the greatest decision I ever made. Right. And so, um, with, with the condo market, I mean, those numbers for the condo market were pretty bad. I mean, the fact that the inventory is getting better is helpful, but, that you have a standing supply of a year, a 1 year standing supply of inventory for condo. That is an extreme buyer's market, but it's getting better, which was the thing that I like. Like the prices are down, but the quantity of units is down as well, the available number of units. So while the prices are down, we expected that, but the fact that the inventory is coming down means that there's a life cycle to how much longer that can go on. And so it looks like it's finding where it needs to trade at. And that's a good thing. If we can get stability and get those condos to now create a new baseline, I think condo ownership is actually going to be much better than what it used to be. It's much safer and more consistent because these buildings are not going to have the special assessment needs that they did prior to Champlain Towers. Buildings always used to have special assessments. But now, because these buildings are mandated to have reserves, I think that that's going to happen less frequently. The building that I live in, the condo I live in, they've never had a special assessment. Knock on wood. They've painted, they've done all this stuff. My maintenance fee is a little bit higher, but that's because they've had reserves, right? And so
Yeah.
they fund it, right? So the consistency of cost of ownership for me is very nice.
Yeah, but if you really think about how impressive it is, did they mention condos specifically on there? How
They did.
condos are doing?
Yeah, they're down. The pricing is down, and there's a 12-month standing supply of inventory.
Okay, so okay. So that's what. Okay, I was gonna say something. I'm like, wait a second. Maybe they did mention condos because this was just gonna be my assumption, right? The fact that the housing market, or did they separate it? They added it as a whole, right? And then they separated it into subsectors. But that means that in order for the market to be up at all, it has to average out even with the negative of the condos, which is a huge negative right now.
Yeah. Well, the
Right, it's
condos,
holding the market down. If we were to just get rid of, we were to separate. Well, the stats are there, but it's interesting because I don't think condos are going to recover anytime soon. Right. So well, I don't think it could happen overnight. If for example they would go with some kind of looser standards for FHA or condo condo questionnaires, that type of stuff. But I don't see it. I don't see it recovering anytime soon. There's just, I mean,
I
12
think
months of inventory.
I think it actually is recovering behind the scenes in a way that we don't realize, because one of one of the criteria that's causing this problem is their buildings are being mandated to have reserves. One of the single biggest reasons these buildings don't pass condo questionnaire has always been not having reserves. So these buildings are all going to have a minimum threshold of reserves. I think they're required to have 10. Conventional wants 15. But once they get into the habit of having these reserves, going from 10 to 15, I think is a thing that a lot of these buildings are going to make the choice to do, because they recognize that path to going from needing 25% down to needing 3% down to get people in is a path to getting the value of their units back to what it was, and, improving the market for condos. So I actually think that this
Richard,
mandate.
what are you seeing in condos? Because I guess if we don't engage him directly, he's not going to really engage. So let's engage him directly. Richard, what are you seeing as far as the condos are concerned? Are you seeing anything? I mean, anything that attracted your attention, or anything that you see? I'm seeing it's not going to recover for a bit. So I mean, I don't see it recovering anytime soon.
The last numbers, they were up from the prior metric. So
Yeah, the supply.
it's real simple. In my view, there's two worlds for condos. There's new condos and there's old condos. Okay, 3-story and below condos with the fucking louver windows. Okay, and the no elevators that have been there 1,000 years and are populated by people that are 2,000 years old. Those are not going to recover. They're going to be bought. They're going to be stripped out. I was just working on a deal where people are stripping out condos now, and they're either going to be torn down or turned into rentals, because you just can't assess it enough. And even if you do, the people can't afford it. So those are not going anywhere. The new condos that are being built, they're being built under the understanding that they have to have reserves and they have to raise dues on an annual basis. And those are the ones that are going to sell. So, it's condos that move that I see are new condos, new buildings, new.
Yeah, but Brickell's eating a cable too, though, man. Brickell's eating a fucking cable too.
I think piece actually, and this might be surprising and interesting to you, Rich, is how poorly the brand new condos, when they go to be resold in the first 5 years, how poorly they do. They actually, you can't recover what you paid for them. So it's not like with new construction on single family, usually they don't appreciate as well as existing construction in the first 5 years, because it's like a new car. Like everybody wants to own new. If you're not going to get new, I don't want to get one that's 2 years old. I'll get one that's 10 years old if I'm going to do that, because I want the deal, right?
Yeah, but let me bring up fucking single family new construction, because they are cheating in a way, and they are sweeping shit under the rug in a way. And let me tell you why. So I've had this conversation several times, but this one's fresh because I had it, I think, yesterday or the day before, with one of my agents that said, "Hey, man, I wanted your take on this." So I'm buying a townhouse, about 600,000, right? Brand new, and the developer's offering me a 3.75 interest rate for 5 years. Okay, so I said, okay, look, I'm going to tell you what it is, and you decide if it's something that's good for you or not, right? Like it's okay to get fucked as long as you know you're getting fucked, basically. Okay. The only reason a developer would offer you a 3.75 rate for 5 years is because they know that they're overpriced. It's if they are selling and they can't sell any lower than 600,000, but all the comparables around them, including their own resales, maybe, right, are at 500,000 or 450,000. So they're like, all right, well, we either lower our fucking pants and lose $100,000, $150,000 towards per property, okay, which adds up tremendously if you add it for 30, 40, 50 units, or we raise a little bit of capital. I don't know how they would do that. I guess they would go to the bank and ask for the money, but whatever. They offer it at 3.75. They're at least putting a Band-Aid on it, right? For 5 years. So I'm seeing that all over the place. Developers giving away loans that they are funding, okay, for their own product.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think that it speaks to what the real issue in the market is, which is affordability, right? And so, in a different market, giving away an upgraded kitchen is maybe the thing that does it. But in the world that we're in today, the cheaper thing for them to give away that actually yields a buyer is a buy down of the rate. And the cost to buy down a rate for 5 years is whatever the cost to buy down a rate is. As a developer, they're looking at that and they're saying, hey, we can get money at 6.5. We'll take and what does it cost to buy that down? That's
right.
So giving over the kind of incentives they used to give. I think that's how I look at it.
Right. So what I told the guy, I'm like, hey, question: are you looking to flip this? No. Okay. Are you going to hold this for 5, 10 years? He's like, yeah, maybe forever. Okay. Richard, why are you emailing me if we are on a fucking podcast?
Because it reminded me we're talking real estate.
Okay. Very interesting. All right. Motherfucker, bro. I can't stand this fucking guy. I really don't know how it's been over 20 fucking years. I want to punch him in the fucking mouth at least once a week. Like right now, for example. So what was I saying, dude? This guy's fucking distracting me. What was
600,000. Yep.
Well, so I told him, look, if you're going to hold the property for long term, the fuck do you care? Right? Listen, you're overpaying for the property. In 2 or 3 years, that might not be the case anymore. And I would be willing to bet you'll be positive at equity, right? It'll be worth more than what you bought it for within 10 years, right? And what are you paying right now? He's like, no, I'm renting right now. Right. Yeah. So, right. It's a no-brainer for him. And that's interesting because they're putting people in houses where the property is it's obviously overpriced, but you give them a cheap enough loan and they'll go into it and they'll go into it happy. And it even makes sense. It's a kind of a win-win for everybody, but is it cheating the system a little bit? I guess,
terms have always been there to take and find ways to sweeten the deal in such a way that allow everybody to be happy. I mean, that's really what it's all about, is making the pie bigger, right? I know what a fan of negotiation you are. Bringing in those additional terms is always an important carve out. But the thing that I found fascinating, actually, because I just did this, I just wrote a class on new construction, and I actually have a calculator in there talking about how poorly new construction tends to appreciate, but it still is better because of a handful of things. Usually the property is much cheaper to operate because it's higher energy efficiency compliance requirements for the air conditioner and all this stuff. There's almost no repairs, right? So like if you buy a 10-year-old home, stuff's breaking, stuff's getting old.
I'm going to go look. I'm not going to say where, but I'm going to go look. It's in Florida. I'm going to go look at an opportunity on Tuesday where I'm going to be, this is what's being offered to me, a steady flow of severely, aggressively negotiated short sales, okay, of new construction that's not completed. Well, yes, but my partner in it would be a construction guy, which takes all the fucking risk away in that case. But the point is, these developers, so I'm going in, let's say there's a project of 50 units, right? These developers they're holding, they can't sell lower. There's situations right now where these developers cannot sell lower.
Absolutely.
They're renting the properties. They're giving away the loans. So now I'm coming in and let's say the properties are selling for 400,000. I'm going to be getting them close to 200,000, right? Having to add another 20,000, 25,000 to finish it. I'm going to go to market at 350, right? Undercut these motherfuckers that are held at 400. They can't sell lower than 400. I might be able to get rid of, which I'm even doing them. I'm not really fucking them. I'm doing them a favor. I'm getting rid of all this shit that's gonna, if I could get rid of all of it in a year, that's it. I got rid of their troubles.
You don't have to convince me, man. I am seeing the non-performing paper. I mean, there's a loan that I'm buying in Houston right now. The house is worth 700,000. I'm getting the paper for 240. The foreclosure sale date is in a week. And they basically exhausted all their defenses in Texas for it. And the place needs about 100,000 worth of work. I'm going to sell it at the foreclosure auction. I'm never going to actually own the real estate. I'll sell it for 350. I'll make 100 and have owned it for a few minutes. It's great. This is that side of the business. And that's the thing. Like, you and I both lived through this the last time around.
Yeah.
And if there's any regret that we have, it's that we didn't double down harder. Cause
Sure.
I saw it. I built my portfolio on that distressed market. And right now I am making sure to double down on what we're seeing, because, the idea that we could come through COVID, create all the money that we did and all the stuff that we did. I mean, all these shocks simultaneously got thrown into the system, and have these real estate markets do all the stuff that they did and not at some point have to pay the piper for this is just flawed thinking. I mean, the handwriting is on the wall at some of these markets. And so taking advantage of being in the position to take advantage of the fact that, I mean, construction loans, default interest on construction loans is 18 to 24%. I mean, these guys are, and I mean, equity for days, but they're at the
Well, Richard and I had a deal where we lent the money on a situation like that. And how long were we collecting that 18% default interest? For like a fucking year, huh, Richard?
Yeah.
The Haitians?
Yeah.
And it was fucking awesome.
Dude, that ULB, that unpaid legal balance, is a wonderful thing to look at in these loans. When you're buying them, they have all this equity, and you're able to get it for discount off of par, and they have the ULB is far accelerated, and you have all this equity. Like, there is so much incentive for them, much like the deal you're talking about. They're going to work it out, and so this is the reason why I did the 506C filing. I mean, that's what we're doing the fundraise for.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works in Texas, but I find the foreclosure story about the 240 buy and 350. I mean, don't give them a defense, because in Florida you can't discount the property.
Florida's the worst. Florida is
you can't do that here, bro. Like, you just can't. Like, that'll give them a reason to set the sale aside.
Rich, I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever get the chance to buy a note for anything in Broward County, never do it. Never do. Broward County's foreclosure system is so screwed. They had a judge that just got thrown off the bench over there because he just advocate lunatic. This the one we've been doing is like 10 years trying to get.
Is it a Republican or Democrat?
No idea what the guy was. We had the people in there declared bankruptcy in Washington and like whatever. They got divorced. I mean, it was like the F. Lee Bailey of foreclosure defense, whatever. And we got half of it. We got the husband's half foreclosed upon. Now, you get this. They've been renting it for this entire time, claiming it as a primary to take and get that protection in court. Almost impossible for us to prove that it's, not a primary. They were going for the MSJ on the wife's half now, and the judge retires. Now, there's all kinds of sanctions against them for stuff that they did. They're manipulating the judicial, all this stuff. New judge comes in, says, "Oh, I want to hear the whole thing all over again." So we have to come in, do the whole case. He not only throws it out, he reverses the foreclosure somehow on the husband, and we're back to starting from scratch. 2 months later, the guy's thrown off the bench because he's pulling all this crap, and I guess, it was bad enough to get rid of the guy. So we go to the appeals court to say, hey, look, you threw this guy off because of all the stuff that he's doing. Appeals court's like, no, go ahead and start all over again. So yeah, Broward County. I've done hundreds of these. Broward County, you could keep it. Sorry, I'm done.
That's interesting.
I'm grumpy.
I remember Cadillac. Remember we were probably together. The first time I heard it was in the CCIM class. Who knows where? It might have been like, I don't know. Tennessee pops into my fucking head. I don't even know if we went to Tennessee or not. But the instructor was saying, what's the most important part of analyzing a real estate deal, right? And they were like, oh, numbers and this and that. And they were like, no, the politics, like the politics of it. You got to understand the politics of it. And I remember like, really, the fucking politics of it? Yeah, look, in this particular case, I mean, I know a judge is not really, well, I guess it kind of technically is politics, but, the governor, the mayor.
It's really not, bro. It's only politics in your guys' minds.
In your guys' minds.
if
You
you're-
mean Republicans?
No, I mean you and Cab and Cadillac. That's what I mean.
I don't.
Only you guys think, bro, that people that went
Are
to
judges
school,
elected?
did all the school. First of all, judicial elections are nonpartisan, genius.
I'm asking you a question. I don't know. Why do you got to offend me? I don't understand.
Some judges are elected. Federal judges.
Richard, I want to say it again. You know more than me. You're smarter than me. So I'm always asking just to learn from you. Just to learn from you.
Nothing to do with being smarter, bro. They teach this in grade school. Okay, you just have to listen. Okay, people with the IQ of room temperature know about how this works.
You really think IQ to IQ you're smarter than me? You're willing? How much are you willing to bet that I'm smarter?
Bro,
no, I'm asking you a fucking question.
Listen.
So hold on. IQ to IQ, like a circle, putting squares. Putting squares into circles and little fucking tests of the brain. You really think you're that smarter than me?
The idea doesn't even cross my mind.
Right, that's what I thought, motherfucker.
What I can tell you, bro. what I can tell you, bro, is that the notion that you guys have clung on to, okay, that people study all their lives, go to school, get law degrees, get appointed by presidents of the United States to be federal judges, and that then they sacrifice their whole career, everything they've done to rule against big bad Mr. Trump and this and that, like is just so far beyond the pale.
Have you ever heard me say that?
No, the thing is, Cadillac, it's like when I get lumped into like trannies should be in sports or what is a woman discussion. Similarly, you have to get lumped in.
All I did was ask you what is a woman, and you freaked the fuck out.
You have to get lumped in with the guys that think that fucking.
Buddy, all I did was ask you what a woman is. All I did was ask you what a woman is, and you freaked the fuck out. I don't understand why you guys get so upset. Why do you guys get so upset with that fucking question? That's not even controversial. Why do you get so upset with that question? What is a woman?
It's such a stupid thing, bro.
But you can't answer it. But you can't fucking answer it.
Enjoy the fact that the other side is stupid argument is so well represented, Richard. I don't feel the need to pile on and add to the ammunition coming.
No, I get it. I get it. It's just, bro. It's like you heard this guy. We're talking about a judge, and he's like, "Is you a Democrat?" It's like, bro, it's just the dumbest shit I've ever heard, bro.
I mean, somebody who's out there defending.
It's just
I think, Rich, I think in this particular case, you would agree there are some activist judges out there, and they tend to be.
Of course, bro. Of course.
I'll give you, and this
goes back to the IQ thing. There goes back to the IQ thing. It's obvious.
No,
it's common fucking sense.
And the common sense, bro. You
common
see,
sense.
I knew what you were going to say before you even said it, bro.
Good.
There was a judge we went before in New York City. My father had a commercial lease with these guys, a waste management company in New York City. We go before the judge. My cousin, young guy, college educated, smart kid, real good guy. And he was going to have his day in court. The judge picks up the lease that was prepared by a great New York attorney. The guy was in his 90s at this point. He was long career in New York City, well known. The judge picks up the lease and says, just weighs it and says, "Oh, I would never have one of my clients sign a lease like this."
Weighs it?
Yeah, just the weight of the lease.
That's pretty funny, actually.
You're supposed to have your day in court. You're supposed to have this neutral arbiter, right? You're going to tell me that's not an activist judge right there? Oh, I would never have a client of mine sign a lease like. How is that a fair?
No, man, no Cadillac, no Cadillac, no politics. No, there's no such thing as a Democrat judge that just a fucking actor. That just does not happen. This guy in Broward, no way he was that. There's no fucking way. Of course not.
I'm saying, and I think this is the fair middle ground. There are people that bring very strong opinions to the judiciary that compromise or stretch what the law was intended to do to be fair to both sides. That lease was clearly violated by the tenants in multiple ways. They hadn't paid rent in months, and the judge has already got the thumb on the scale in favor of the tenants. And it's one of the reasons why we're out of New York City.
And let me tell you something, that this whole thing that upsets you guys so much about what a woman is really going to be a tough situation for the WNBA right now. Cause,
oh my God. No, and I got to tell you, it's a really important issue.
It's not. It is fun though.
I gotta tell you, Americans are sitting around their dinner table. They're not worried about gas, Iran, inflation. No, they're sitting around thinking, what's the WNBA going to do about this fucking dork that couldn't make it in the NBA, declaring for the WNBA? Yeah, no. I mean, listen, bro. The WNBA refuses.
The WNBA refuses to define a woman. What is up with you guys with this shit? Like, why can't you just fucking define? They're gonna go through this whole bullshit
again and again. Cadillac, do you see what we're talking about, bro? Like, you guys, what is up with you guys? Guys, listen, buddy, I'm not in the WNBA. Okay, I don't work for the WNBA. I'm not a registered Democrat. I don't give a fuck about that issue. Like again, bro, it occupies the minds of small-minded people. Like
in the forum we were speaking to.
You wake up in the morning, you see all the headlines about the shit the country's going through, and you gravitate to the WNBA.
Richard, at what time did you text politics bullshit this morning?
5 in the morning.
5:30 in the morning. But I'm the one fucking obsessed. Get the fuck out of here.
No, you're obsessed with the WNBA.
No, I am obsessed. No, I'm not obsessed. I am dying. Let me tell you what I'm obsessed with.
And the culture that you hate.
The fact that they're gonna have to. The fact that they don't want to define what a woman is, and they're going to have to legally do it, or there's going to be fucking men showing up
to legally do it.
They're going to have to.
Yeah. What does that mean? Explain that to me. They're going to have to legally do it.
So right now,
wait, speak slow. Try to collect your thoughts.
Richard, listen, let me start off by saying you are way smarter than me, and you know way more than.
I just want to know what you mean by legally.
I know, but I have to listen. We have to let the audience know. We have to bring them up to date on how intelligent you are.
I know. You say it every episode.
No, well, there's new listeners every time, right?
Yeah, we're hoping. Watch reruns, bro. Hey, watch the reruns. You guys will hear. Okay. I'm the smartest guy ever.
So right now, okay, they refuse to define what a woman is. That's the hill they're dying on so far. So now a man shows up and says, I am going to go into the draft. Okay. And now there's no reason why you shouldn't let me in, because there is no definition in your rules and regulations, the way you govern your company, whatever that document is. Okay. There is no definition. They refuse to define what a woman is. So now a man shows up. So how are you going to define him? I fucking hope. It's a win-win no matter what. They either have to let a man in, or they got to define what a fucking woman is. I can't fucking wait, because it's so fucking stupid.
So I just pulled up ChatGPT, Jesus, and it says the WNBA's current CBA. Do you know what a CBA is?
What? No, go ahead and look what the commissioner. Look up what the commissioner. Look up what the commissioner said.
Collective bargaining agreement expressly says that only players who are women are eligible to play in the NBA. The CBA,
but what is a woman? They can't define what a woman
CBA
is.
Does not define woman, and it apparently contains no criteria specifying whether eligibility is determined by biological sex, gender, entity, hormone levels, etc. The issue has become concrete in the past week because reporters recently asked the WNBA Players Union how they define women for purposes of eligibility. Neither organization has responded to the questions. The controversy intensified after NBA players Ines Kanter Freedom and Royce White publicly announced that they intend to pursue entry into the WNBA. The commissioner has publicly indicated that the league...
Listen to this. Listen to what she said. Go ahead.
There's no quote from her. It says you
got to read her quote. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. Gender is like a little bit more nuanced. I would
distinguish between these two statements. The WNBA refuses to define what a woman is. That's an interpretation of its conduct and has a political charge. The WNBA requires that its players be women, but has not publicly defined woman, and it declined in recent press requests asking it to provide that definition. You want to know why? Because basketball companies aren't scientists, bro. So, you know,
Oh my God!
they're
Oh
not.
my fucking
They can,
God!
yeah.
Oh, we lost him. Cadillac,
Yeah.
we lost him. Cadillac,
Yeah.
we lost him.
The
We lost him.
WNBA, it's like
Cadillac, I'm
asking the
sorry.
WNBA to define
Kyrie,
what
I'm
a
sorry for
disease is.
introducing you to him. When I introduced you guys, he wasn't like this. But we lost. That's it.
Bro, you're a
We lost
fucking
him.
idiot,
We lost
dude.
him.
Yeah.
We're not scientists. Okay. You got to be a.
Not me. Not me. The WNBA.
Dude,
If
please
I
take
were
that
them,
back.
I wouldn't do it either.
Listen,
I
Aiden,
wouldn't do it
I
either.
don't want that publicly out there. That's my boy. At the end of the fucking day, that's my
No,
boy,
no, no.
and I
Hey,
don't want him.
hey, you can put it out there,
No,
bro.
no, I won't do it. I refuse to.
You can put it
Aiden,
out
I
there,
need
bro.
you to.
Hey,
I need
I'm
you to.
not. Hey,
No,
I'm
can't
not
do it.
embarrassed, buddy. I'm not embarrassed, buddy. You want to know why? Because
Wow.
I understand that it's a
Holy
business.
shit.
It's a business. They're not in the
Holy
business of
shit.
turning off half of their audience.
Wow.
Yes, they
Wow.
are. Yes, they are.
Really? What half, Cadillac?
What half? I mean, you don't mean to tell me that there are plenty of industries that have turned off half of their audience by taking
I said the WNBA. If I were them, I would.
in the WNBA's case, because of who their audience is. No,
That's exactly right. That's what I'm
They need to
saying.
stay exactly where they are. No,
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Same thing.
so,
By the way,
hold on. Who's their audience? Who's
their audience is lesbian women by and large. Lesbian
Which
women.
are usually what? Which are
people that
usually
are,
what?
Who gives a fuck what party they are?
No, don't.
But what does it matter what party they are? What does it matter? Answer the question. They're Democrats. Now what? What does that mean?
That's how this
What
whole
is
thing
the
started.
significance of the fact that they're
how this whole thing
Democrats?
started. I asked you and a pack of Democrats, which are your childhood friends, to define a woman, and you guys go fucking crazy, bro.
Buddy, I've told you
Holy fucking shit! Seriously,
Jesus. Again, bro, the lies that you tell, bro, in your ball busting efforts, that's the difference between my ball busting and yours. Yours is based on fantasy.
I'm way higher level than you.
I have said 1,000 times, bro, I only believe in two genders. A woman is a fucking biological female that can make babies. Okay? That's a woman. Okay? A guy who thinks he's a woman is not a woman. I've said it 50 fucking times, except it's not funny to you if you can't keep going back to this bullshit with the you guys and the bullshit. Let me explain something. It's just like Disney, bro. It's just like Disney. When DeSantis went after the LGBTQ community and all this shit here, Disney took a stand against DeSantis. And you want to know why, Jesus? Because Disney's workforce is overwhelmingly LGBTQ. And you want to know why? Because what kind of man do you think it takes to dress up in a little fucking costume and play with kids all day? Okay, so what happens is you can't turn your back on 60% of your workforce. Just like
do you know that the majority of gay people hate this whole bullshit, fucking weird,
bro. And by the way, listen, the majority.
Hey, Andres, do you consider me? I'm talking to a gay guy, by the way. Do you consider me pro-gay or not?
Pro-gay? Are you listening to yourself?
Yeah.
There isn't even such a position as pro-gay, guy. Like it's unbelievable, bro.
I am in support. I am absolutely in support of people.
Let me tell you something. Okay, their legislation isn't fucking cutting a dividing line between transsexuals and homosexuals. Okay, like the homosexual Lindsey Graham, who, according to Cadillac, just disliked that side of himself, voting against the marriage equality or in favor of equality of marriage, the Sanctity of Marriage Act to undo the Supreme Court's.
I don't give a fuck. Everybody can marry whoever the fuck they want. They can marry whoever they want as much as they want.
What I'm saying is that the gay people that you describe that don't like the tranny phenomenon that you're
the large majority.
Okay, they can't.
When I said that, he raised his hand.
They have to oppose all this legislation because it encompasses them too, bro. So it's very simple. Okay, it's a very simple concept, dude. The world, as a general premise, dude, is not caught up in this issue, bro. People like you are caught up on this issue.
Absolutely not.
No, you're not.
Listen, what I am caught up in is like the majority of my life. Hey, you're gay. perfect. Mind you, everybody, hey, listen, I'm heterosexual. You're gay. Perfect. We're great. But since COVID, it's been, I'm going to ram this up your ass. Everywhere you walk into, there's going to be a gay flag and a tranny flag and this and that, which is completely different than it was. So if I walk into a coffee shop and there's a gay flag
The
there,
last time you walked,
why wouldn't there be a fucking I don't want a heterosexual flag. I don't want to impose my heterosexuality on a gay. Hey man, let me ask you a question. And I think it's wrong even for parents to do it, right? Hey, if your kid's fucking gay, great. Love him more. Don't impose heterosexuality. But now if all of a sudden we're seeing the other side, you walk into a place and there's a fucking gay flag there, and there's and every fucking movie has to have a fucking gay character, and it's a kids stuff.
When was the last time you walked into a place in Miami and there was a coffee shop in Miami and there was a gay flag? Be honest.
All the fucking time, Richard. I'm gonna start.
Name one. I walk into coffee shops all the fucking time.
Okay. I'll start documenting them. Okay.
Yeah,
that's gonna be super easy.
Please do.
How many?
It happens so often, you can't even fucking name one.
There's too many. There's literally too many. There's literally too many.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
What do you want to bet?
Many, bro.
Okay, so I'm going to document it. No problem. This is going to be fun. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead.
How many do you want?
Please do. But
how many do you want? 100?
Make sure you put yourself in the photo so I can see it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Don't be fucking Googling fucking coffee shop.
No problem.
Gay flags.
No, I'll video it.
Unbelievable.
I'll video it. I saw one in a fucking Starbucks the other day. And I almost went up to the manager and I'm like, hey, let me ask you a question. Where's the heterosexual flag?
Is there such a thing?
Of course not. But there should be if there's going to be a gay one, right? Because it's fucking stupid.
Why?
Like, why would you need to impose?
But
why would you need to impose that? Why? Why do we need that? Why do we need that?
But
that's the extreme left.
Are you the flag police, bro? Like, how does that bother you?
That's the extreme left. Just fucking it up for everybody. That's you guys. And you get mad when I say that, but that's the extreme left.
Confederate flags, bro, that your boys march with fucking down the street, dude.
The what?
Confederate flags. Or the Nazi flags, bro, that these people march down with the street. No, it's fucking great, right?
No, Rich. You know, when we have Confederate month and when we can have Nazi month, we can talk about this. All right.
Like, why would we have
the reality of it is, if you're not willing to acknowledge they've been smacking us in the face with this for a very long time, and it's just you got to take it. You got to take it. You're not. Look.
But what does that mean? You have to take it. Like, what do you have to take? Like, what do you have to take?
If you're not, look, I'm in the speaking business and I genuinely have not been skipped over intentionally because of who I am and what I look like, sir. So if you want to talk about the racism, so no, you get in the room with these guys and you see the speakers that are, their business is way down because DEI got pulled because the only way they were getting in front of anybody was because of what they look like and what they were and how they identified. So I'm sorry. This has actually been an amazing tool for the discrimination that you are so enraged by. It's just that
there's a wrestling coach that had to leave. There's a wrestling coach that I met that had to leave the school because he refused to put his fucking pronouns on the website.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, buddy. Listen, it's. Let me tell you why it's okay, Cadillac. Because it's a private business, buddy. Let me ask you a question. What do you want? You want a rule that says that the government should tell law firms, for example, that if they can't insist on having their lawyers put their pronouns in the signature block? Sounds very Republican, bro. Sounds very small government.
Not what I'm saying at all.
What are you saying? Then why is it a fucking problem?
What I just said to you was obvious discrimination, which I believe you're very much
Cadillac, let me explain why.
I'm white. You can't discriminate against white guys. That's right. I forgot. We're the one group. We're the one group that fuck you guys. You can get.
First of all,
you can tell jokes about us. You can say anything about us. It's all good.
Again, listen.
All the comedians out there are bitching about it. You can't say anything about anybody else.
Let me explain something, Cadillac. Homosexuals are not a protected class under federal discrimination laws.
Right, just almost every local discrimination clause, including Miami-Dade County, where we do business.
Actually, completely false. In the 67 counties in Florida, there's only one county that has that kind of ordinance, and it's Dade County. So 1 out of 67, Cadillac. That's number one.
By the
That's
way,
number one.
Rich.
That's
By the
number
way,
two.
Rich. It's in the NAR Code of Ethics.
That's
So
this,
it's
they're a private
100%.
entity. They're a private entity, Cadillac. What you're saying is there should be some higher power that prohibits that. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just think. Listen, I just think. So, for example,
prohibits
NAR from having
discrimination.
prohibits
Do we tell companies they can't discriminate?
Non-protected classes.
Do we tell companies they can't discriminate?
We do. We
all
tell
the
companies.
time. Is there federal law in place?
We tell companies they can't discriminate against classes that have been deemed protected classes because of the evolution of case law. And let me explain to you what's going to happen, buddy. If and when white people like yourself that have enjoyed the best seat at the table for 1,000 years, if and when, hold on, if and when,
here's the payback argument, the comeuppance argument. I love the comeuppance argument.
If and when
I benefited from zero. Go ahead, keep going.
If and when you ever become an actual minority and subject to protracted and patent discrimination, guess what? There's going to be a case that's going to make its way up, or a bill, and then white people will become a protected class. That's the way it works. And by the way, Cadillac, it wasn't always like that.
Got it. So we don't get upset until there's a law in place. God, I'm wrong. Stand corrected. My mistake.
We don't get upset.
I just said it's not illegal. Got it, Rich. No, when I lose jobs, it's okay because there's not a law yet. Okay.
Not illegal, buddy.
Here's what I'm saying.
Martin Luther King, shut up. There's not a law yet, buddy.
Yeah, I got to tell you, bro, you guys are really suffering. The plight of the white man right now is unbelievable. I mean, dude, have you watched Louis C.K.? He even joked about this.
Get into an environment where it's competitive right now, and watch the times when you get literally, no, we want a black woman to deliver this message. Not that he's the leader in the space. Not that he's the guy.
It's hysterical.
The known expert. No. Can you find us a black woman to give us?
Richard, here's the thing. So here's the thing. There is a message out there in my company that I said, I actually love my gay employees so much that I want to go full gay. Like I want to go ahead. Imagine if I were to say that the other way around. I want to fire the heterosexuals and I want to go full gay. And I said it joking around, but and not really, because man, I've had a great experience with the gay employees, and as many as could come in here, I will hire them. Right? I will. It's so. But now when you're forcing me to do it, right?
Okay, who's forcing you to hire gay people, Jesus?
Not me. I'm unforceable. Right. But there's companies out there that have to meet a quota. No. I'm saying in general.
So in general. Got you. I got you. Not you. You're mad for other people. So tell me now, who's being forced to hire gay people?
Richard, I gotta be mad for society when you're So Richard, let me ask you a question. What if white people started suing the NBA?
Answer my question. Who's being forced
or the NFL
to hire gay people? I asked the question first. I asked first. Who's being forced to hire gay people? Forced to hire gay people.
There's plenty of companies not legal. See, but here's the thing. Here's the problem with attorneys, man. That it has to be everything he brings in. It's like a court or illegal. You guys can't function in the fucking real world without a court or illegal or no.
Because you're using the word forced. How about this?
Well,
how about lawyers speak a little less imprecisely?
Let me ask you a question. Richard. When a kid is forced into a locker by a bully, okay, did he prepare them with a legal document? Did he serve them with a legal document?
No, he physically forced him in there. I want to know how.
No, he could have been go in the fucking locker. No, he could be go in the fucking locker. Stick yourself in the fucking locker.
Okay, so go with your example. Who's being forced, Jesus?
I don't want anybody to be forced, is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, who is? But you're saying people are being... First you said you were being forced. Then you said...
I don't know, Richard, but you're the same guy. You're the same guy.
You're not really forced.
You're the same guy. Okay, Richard, why were people not forced to get the vaccine?
What do you mean not forced?
You said people were not forced to get the vaccine because they had the ability.
They were not.
Audience, this is what I deal with. They were not forced. So
there
people that had to leave their jobs.
What you're saying is they didn't
want
the vaccine.
Jesus is coerced.
No.
What's the word? What's the word you want to use?
Cadillac, let me ask you a question. Cadillac, let me ask you a question. If I own a business and I want everyone in my business to be vaccinated, but somebody that works for me doesn't want to be vaccinated, why is their desire to not be vaccinated? Why does that trump my desire to want vaccinated people in my business? In other words, if I can't say in my business to work for me, you must be vaccinated, you don't like that, but you like that if you work for me, I can't ask you to be vaccinated. Like you want me to have to deal with someone in a private business that's not vaccinated because they don't want to. But you don't want me to say in my business, I only want to employ people that are vaccinated. Do you understand? The concept is the same. This forced concept that you're talking about is the same. If I, in my private business, say you must be vaccinated, and then you say,
I think that
hold on, and then you say I don't want to be vaccinated, you're telling me I shouldn't be able to fire you.
So, Richard, I have a friend.
That's Jesus's position.
Cadillac, before you answer, Cadillac, before you answer, give me a second. So I have a friend that literally said, he goes, dude, I don't want to get this fucking vaccine. This is fucking bullshit. Okay. But if I don't get it, they're going to fire me. And I've been working at this place for 20 fucking years. And I am in an industry where it's very niche. If I have to quit this job, it's going to be, it's putting my family in a tough situation.
Okay.
That's not being forced.
No. And let me ask you this.
Jesus
Hold on. Hold on. And let's assume for a second that we go with your position. Let's assume for a second that it is impermissible to fire someone from a private business because they've been there 20 years and the headache in their family and it's a big niche. It's impermissible to fire them because they don't want to get vaccinated. Is the employer not being forced to deal with employees that aren't vaccinated despite the employer's desire?
I'm not saying there's an easy answer to this, but you stop saying they're not forced because
they're not forced. They're not forced. And neither's the employer. You either force one or you force the other. It's that simple. It's the same thing with freedom of speech, dude. Listen, if I want a rule in my office that says you cannot say something nice about Donald Trump and work for me, guess what, bro?
You haven't done that yet?
Guess what? That's not a violation of the First Amendment. Okay? Because I'm not the government. And since you're a Republican and you're all about freedom and small government, you should understand that. So you should understand that if I have a private business, like many big companies did, and they take the position that their employees have to be vaccinated, and the employee doesn't want to be vaccinated, guess what? They don't have to get vaccinated. They also can't insist that they keep their job, buddy. That's just not the way it works.
Okay, fine, Richard. I understand your point. So
no, you don't, because you don't because
I had to turn my phone off. Because people were calling. So can you look up the definition of the word forced?
Sure, Jesus.
Richard, I don't know. I don't know what else could be more forced than a guy saying you're fired if you don't get the fucking vaccine that you don't want to get.
Jesus, if I walked into your office right now, if your landlord walked into your office right now and says, hey, I'm forcing you to pay 3 times the rent next month, what are you going to tell the guy? To go fuck himself, right? And he says, your lease is about to come up for renewal. He says, hey, you're going to pay me 3x or you're out of here.
Just look up the definition. It's the
same thing. How is it not the same thing?
Okay, so look up the definition of forced.
I believe the word that you want is coerced.
No, but we focus on force.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that, Cadillac. It is a form of coercion, 100%, to say, hey, if you want to continue to work for me, you have to get vaccinated. That's 100% coercion. It's not forced. And if the guy didn't want to get vaccinated,
if you want to get this contract,
just like you can't force the employer,
if you want to get this contract
vaccinated.
If you want to get this government contract, you need to have this many people, this many that people, this many that people.
You're not forced. Just don't get the contract.
So
that's not being forced, buddy.
Okay, what's the definition? You must have looked it up and didn't like it. What
I haven't looked anything up because it doesn't.
Cadillac, I wish I could, but I can't. Can you please look it up?
I would say that the the simplicity that you're bringing to this, and you're usually one to pull this out, that there's more nuance to the argument, but the previous administration had their thumb on the scale as much as they could to coerce as fully as they could compliance with a DEI policy that had my major employers, the Association of Realtors, and everybody. They didn't tell me I had to do something, but they had all of these meetings about whether or not we would have instructors that didn't have a vaccine and all this. So that there was major coercion applied by
Agreed.
political bodies.
Agreed.
That is to me the issue more so than anything. That it's a nuance to it. I'm not agreeing with the forced idea. I'm saying that there is the ability to apply political pressure to make people do things
And
that they
by the
otherwise,
way,
and companies to do it for political benefit, not for the benefit of their
And-
employees or even the people that buy from that company, to stay within the realm of what is desired. And I would say this works both ways. I totally, if you're going there, I agree with that.
No, I was going to say that you will note that I will not register not even a scintilla of disagreement with what you're saying. However, the notion that people were forced is false. Okay, there have been cases against
Andres, look up
governmental.
the definition of force, please.
There have been
Force. The word forced.
Bullshit.
If I forced you to do something,
there has been a number of cases that have come out, particularly against governmental agencies and private companies that are.
come over here.
I've got it. I've got the definition. All right. The word force.
Oh, you got the definition? Okay.
It's an adjective or verb meaning compelled, unnatural, or made necessary by an emergency. So I think compelled actually and coerced are very much kissing cousins there. I think from that, in that reading of it, there's
very simple. Nobody was forced. Okay.
But compelled.
Yeah, they were compelled, they were coerced, but you know what? They didn't have to do it. And again, it's the same thing. That word forced, compelled, it's the same in the inverse is what I'm saying. And what's fucked up is that you guys as business owners, you're thinking a lot like employees here.
Something done against a person's will. Something done against a person's will.
Jesus, by
or an
definition,
action
if
produced.
you sit down,
Fuck,
Jesus,
man, I let you talk. Let me talk. Something done against a person's will. My buddy that didn't want to get it, that's against his will. Or an action produced by an unnatural strain, effort, or urgency. Holy fucking shit. That can't be any more of a specific definition.
Yeah.
There's people here?
Yeah. And Jesus, listen, bro. People were forced to get the vaccine. You're a fucking idiot, bro.
I'm looking at.
Let me ask you a question, bro.
You got a problem with the definition?
You're saying
no.
I got
a problem with the definition.
I got a problem with you saying that I, as a business owner, should be forced to allow people to work for me that aren't vaccinated.
Fine. I'm just saying.
No. Fine. That doesn't mean shit, asshole.
Was my buddy forced to take the vaccine? Yes or no?
No.
He wasn't. What is it again? He wasn't.
He wasn't because he didn't have
unnaturally
to do it.
put strain on.
He didn't have to do it.
But they put strain on him to do it. Bro, you know you're wrong here. What you used to be a guy, as a Republican, you used to be a guy that when you were fucking wrong, you would fucking admit it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Excuse, when was the last time you admitted you were wrong, bro? Are you kidding me? Like, everything with you is like something gets rammed up your ass and you send a video, bro, of fucking people fighting or some bullshit. Turn around with what is a woman? It's so stupid. And again, you still don't have a solution. To you, it's this major injustice that your buddy that didn't want to get vaccinated was going to get fired. But it's not an injustice to force the employer to keep non-vaccinated people.
I get it. No, listen, I get it.
Bro. Who the fuck is going to come?
I get it. All I'm saying is,
who I have to hire.
All I'm saying is, it's funny because you use the same definition on the way back, on the opposite way, and you're fine with it.
I'm showing you why the definition is no good for you, precisely because it works in the opposite direction.
I'm just saying they did force.
I just, you know, like as I think it through, and you know, there's a messy line here in the sense that, you know, you could make the case, well, gee, if somebody's not circumcised, they can't work for a company. I mean, like,
I hope that's a tough one.
at what point is there a limitation that exists to what an employer can tell somebody to do to their physical person, their body? You don't have a tattoo, you can't work here. Like, I mean,
Or if you have a tattoo.
Wait, by the way, that's an age-old, the Yankees. You couldn't be tattooed. You couldn't have facial hair. Up until
Really?
last year. Up until last year. You couldn't have facial hair. They brought over some stud. The guy fucking cried. He fucking went to the papers, and now you can have a mustache. Okay? That's just the way it goes. And you're going to tell...
Beard. Yeah, the beard is the thing. I'm a
right?
Yankee
I mean, it's like, this is what I'm saying, but it's
you're
like...
talking to the wrong guy. This is the Yankee fan.
No, but it's like, I'm just saying, like, if you guys want, like, do you guys want freedom?
No, but what I'm saying to you is, I mean, the idea that, and I'm not trying to put my thumb in the scale. I'm asking and saying it, you know, that this is a nuanced issue. Somebody have to put something in their body to work someplace seems to me to be a topic, a bridge a little further than whether or not how you shave your face, right? I don't know, you know, especially the idea that it could have adverse consequences, things like that.
Well, no adverse consequences.
You know, like
zero.
There's the fact that these are things. I mean, then would you say that legal liability then should attach to the employer who now force this if there are consequences to this? You know, like, I think the messiness of the issue is just something that I've never really heard kind of drawn out, like walked through, like, okay, they force this. Now there's this consequence. Now, does the liability attach back to them? Well, do they now point to the federal government who's putting pressure on them to, like, where does that?
So I can tell an employer, so I can tell a potential employee, I need you to inject rat poison into yourself in order to get this job.
You could. Does it? I mean, again, here's the thing, Jesus. You can't.
No,
you can't pick a crime, buddy. Okay, so because again, only people that think small take that approach. Obviously, I can't tell my assistant,
So
"Hey, go shoot."
I think small. I'm the guy who thinks small.
Go shoot someone. Go shoot someone to work here. I mean, that's ridiculous, bro. Go shoot someone to work here. But I absolutely can.
Are you going on the record saying that I think small?
Yeah. And on politically, you think it's not even small, bro. You think in terms of politics, bro, your thoughts are like quarks. Okay? Quarks. They're not even atomic, they're quarks. Okay? And it's the same thing. For you to say it's wrong to tell somebody that to work here they have to get vaccinated, but it's not wrong to tell the employer that they can't insist on having their employees be vaccinated. That's hypocrisy at its finest.
I think it's wrong that the NBA asks a man to go through a scientific test to see what their gender is.
What? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see how we went from one thing to the gender?
Because I'm using what you're saying.
The guy's got no answer for that, bro.
They're gonna force a human to go through a test to see if they're male or female.
What?
The WNBA, okay, is going to have to force a human to go through a gender test, blood test. How do you check gender? Is it blood?
It's in every strand of your DNA, your XX, your XY.
Right.
Chromosomes.
That's okay.
About going on record. Are you going on record right now saying that the WNBA issue is going to result in people being forced to take gender tests? Is that what you're saying?
That's what. No.
I want to know if that's what you're saying.
It's getting. Let me answer. You got to let me answer, bud. You got to let me answer.
The water, the prosecutor dives in.
You got to let me answer. You want to let me answer? Are you getting nervous on my answer? Let me answer.
No, I'm not getting nervous. I'm getting showed.
So much so that there is a potential that a couple men have already slid in.
They've already slid in?
There's a potential.
No. You said they've already slid. Have they already? Already is past tense.
Yeah.
More
Yeah. That there
mandatory,
already
everybody
might
knows
be, buddy. Use your superpowers. I'm pretty sure. What's the one that went to Russia?
Brittany
Grenier.
Griner.
Right. I mean, there's a potential that there's people that were born of men that were already potential. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying there's a potential. There's zero chance of there already being a biological man in the NBA? Zero chance?
You're saying right now?
Yeah.
I have no idea, bro. I don't
Right,
watch,
because if
I don't watch the WNBA, guy. I'm aware of like
okay,
one WNBA player, and that's Caitlin Clark. Okay. Oh, and the only other one I know is Angel Reese, the bricklayer. Okay, like that's it, bro. That's all I
I
know.
know the hot one, the blonde one.
You know much more about the WNBA than I do right now, bro.
Never watched the game. Not once.
Join the club, bro. Join the
Right.
club.
Yeah, but you're also the guy who's never walked into a fucking coffee shop. Like, I mean,
No,
all right,
I
whatever.
didn't say that. I said how I asked you when the last time was that
Oh,
you
no.
walked into one.
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
mean,
They had a game on at the gym that I go to. It was on one of the big screens. And so I look up in between sets and I'm watching and I'm like, man, this looks like the pace of a high school boys
yeah,
basketball.
Yeah, it's bad basketball. I'll tell you what, I think Caitlin Clark is pretty badass. I see her
she
highlights.
is.
She's badass.
She
Okay.
is.
So
No
anyway,
idea.
going back to the point, to suggest that employers, private employers, shouldn't be able to tell their employees they got to be vaccinated, but thinking it's okay to tell the employer that they have to accept people that are not vaccinated, even if that's their policy, that's called being a hypocrite, bro. It's the flip side of the exact same coin. The problem is you don't like the vaccine, so you're on the side of these people that didn't want to get vaccinated. Okay. So, I mean, it's just that simple. In fact, you would be outraged if the government was telling people they had to force their people not to be vaccinated or to be vaccinated. Okay. Like that's the issue, bro. And by the way, the other thing is that the bigger your company is, the more regulated you are. So for example, right now, Jesus, if one of my employees gets pregnant, do you know how much maternity leave I have to give them?
Well, you're saying, how about if a man gets pregnant?
Here we go. You see, bro, the guy just can't. He just can't, bro. Kind of like,
You gotta admit that was funny.
Like,
Hey, you gotta admit that was a good one.
kind of like,
That was a good
let me
sorry.
ask you.
I know.
Like,
Sorry, I know. Biological men can't have babies. Go ahead. Go.
Kind of like in my business, if Monique gets pregnant, how much maternity leave do I have to give her?
I don't know the size of your business. I would imagine you even have to give her any.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And you want to know why? Because I don't have 50 or more people. And if I have 50 or more people, then guess what? Then I'm subject to the Florida Family Leave Act. Okay. And then I have to give maternity leave. So what happens is, because I'm the size that I am, the government can impose less regulation on me. Okay. So, but according to Jesus, that shouldn't be the case, because if somebody works here for 20 years and gets pregnant, now I should have to give them maternity leave, because if I don't, if she comes to me and says, hey, I'm about to get pregnant, are you going to give me maternity leave? And I say no, now I'm forcing her not to get pregnant. Right? Because if she gets pregnant, she's going to have to leave here. She's been here 20 years. She got to start all over in her family. Blah, blah. It's just, bro, it's a non sequitur. Okay.
Yeah. And the law has always been a battle between the rules and the freedom, right? I mean, it's their maximum freedom.
And I'm just saying this, since you guys are Republicans, you should be on the side of freedom.
I'm with you, but at the same time, I'm always a fan of law as well. And law is always a restriction of freedom, isn't it? I mean, is it not?
This guy, what are you impressed with, Jesus?
Oh man, it's funny because Andrea was on a text the other day when I pissed you off when I asked you, hey Richard was supposed to send me an email, and I know he hadn't sent it, so instead of saying, hey, don't forget to send me the email, I say, hey Richard, I know you sent the email, but I haven't received it. What email did you send it to? And he flies off the fucking shelf. You know what I mean? And she texts me. She's like, have you guys ever gotten in a fist fight? You know what I mean? I'm like, only once in New York. And I go, yeah, that's what happens when. Not only do I know where his buttons are, I know how hard to press them.
The backstory, Cadillac, is that this is a guy that when no one's watching him, okay, and he comes up with something, he'll call me, and he'll give me the same fucking.
You won't call me,
okay?
You won't do the same to me.
Are you going to let me finish now, like you said?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So he'll call me and he'll say, hey, bro, I got this idea, bro, for Colombia. And I just want to know, bro, are you in or are you out? And bro, I want you to have a good attitude, bro. Don't make me deal with shit, bro. Okay, don't bust my balls. I'm trying to help us. And blah, 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 blah. So I say, okay, no problem. I've been very cool. I spoke to his first idiot Colombian fucking lawyer who the lady was, if she had one finger worth of forehead, it would have been a lot. Okay. She looked, bro, she's a living Neanderthal. Okay. I put up with her stupidity on 3 different occasions. No problem. I've taken every call with a good attitude. I participate in this and that. We agree that the document he needs to be sent on Thursday. Okay. By the way, Thursday lasts 24 hours.
Right.
Okay.
I told him I had a meeting Thursday morning, but go ahead.
No, you didn't. And it's probably transcribed. We were 9 hours into the day of Thursday, meaning from the stroke of midnight. Okay. And the question is, instead of saying, hey man, are you going to send me the agreement? When can I expect it? Like normal, he has to lace it in that way, which exactly like he said, to push buttons. So, it's like if you're trying to push buttons and you get the reaction, then I don't understand where the surprise is.
I'm not.
You understand? How about you
I'm happy.
If you don't want me to be an asshole, how about you just try not to bring out the asshole? Right? Like, why not just say, hey man, can you send me the fucking agreement? I need it this morning. But no, bro, it's, what email did you send it to? Because I can't find it. Number one, that's not even rare. That's not even rare because this is a guy that if you don't copy his minions, he won't get the email. Okay, like that's the way it is.
It's gotten worse than that. Like I have people looking at my email and they'll text me the
He
screenshot.
doesn't have enough up here to monitor his own emails. So you got to copy his assistant, mom, his new girl up in the front, the new media girl, the girl that takes care of the new media girl, the old media girl, the Colombian people. You got to copy 10 people to make sure Jesus gets the email. The fuck out of here, bro.
All I asked was, what email did you send it to? And you fly off the show. All right, guys, we're at about an hour.
An hour and 11. Yeah.
An hour and 11. It says 49 minutes for me. Why?
No idea.
Well, because everything is a little slower for you.
I think it's that I get phone calls during it. That's what I worry about. But either way,
it should record locally. It should be okay. So